Five minutes with Sean, Mental Health Monday. Welcome in. My Mental Health Monday is inspired by sports. Shocker, shocker, shocker. And more specifically, the Green Bay Packers. Recently, I saw a image online. I don't know if these things are memes. I don't know what they're called. Doesn't matter. It was of my guy Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers. And it was basically Aaron Rodgers saying, this is the most dominant player I've played with, right? And Davante, in his reply, comes back with this. It catches me off guard a little bit. I feel like we don't do it enough. As men in general, express the way we feel about one another. Now I'm going to sit there with that, right? And pause a second and let you think about it. These are the highest level athletes maybe in the world, okay? And I know it seems like a real simple kind of blurb in social media or something small out in the world because the internet is so vast. But when men like this talk about even the smallest things, how they feel, we need to listen. Why do we need to listen? Because it should give those who think they're too big, too macho, too manly to talk about this stuff a pass. And we see it everywhere. I watched some reality TV, a little bit of real estate. Just literally the other night, dude's talking about how, yeah, I don't talk about how I feel. We just do work and just keep your head down. These are guys in their 40s that are successful people that can't make the time to talk about how they're feeling. I got to tell you, I find it to be a little obnoxious. Still that we're dealing with this as men, that we still have this culture that somehow me telling you how I feel makes me weak. I've been in therapy, I'd say a good part of my life. And it's never seemed odd to me. And maybe it's because I started young. But you can talk to people now who haven't experienced it and make it seem like I was in a cult. Okay? So that's really what I start to think about. Well, okay, so if let's just say that I've taken a different path than you, at the end of the day, why can't those paths cross and us say to each other, hey man, this is how I feel. Even if it, like they're saying, these guys, it's about one another. One guy giving a compliment to another going, wow, I really appreciate him telling me that. Of course we do. It's simple gestures. It doesn't take a lot to let someone know you're checking in on them. And I think it's also really important when we talk about telling people how we feel. I have said for decades, keep your feelings to your therapist. That's not fair. I've said it before. I would have been, I think, a much better manager of people when I was in that position if I would have considered them human beings with feelings. But I didn't. They were employees that had an objective to hit because that's how I felt I was treated by the people I worked for. They say shit rolls downhill. I would agree to that. I would say that happens. Goes back to culture, all of this, but still, let's just break it down even further. Just as guys to guys sitting having a drink. Guys can talk about the surface, right? They can't get much past that. And I think that's where we really struggle. Recently, I've seen some guys on LinkedIn bare their souls. And I commend it every single time I see it. Because I think it's absolutely tremendous that we're out here doing this. But it's not just about when things potentially go right or when they go wrong. It could just be on a day-to-day asking people, checking in on people that will make the difference in their day and potentially yours. So this year, much like last year, we're going to continue with the focus on mental health. I'm going to definitely continue with two dudes talking feelings. I think it's an important part of it. So you can look ahead for some people who will be on that show too. We're going to have a lot of fun with this because at the end of the day, I think fun is all you can really have when you're talking about your feelings. And because it's not because they are fun. It's because if you don't keep it conversational and light. And I don't mean about getting into deep topics. I mean without anger, without aggravation, without judgment. Man, I think we will all be a lot better off. So as you go through your week, do me a favor, just think about the interaction with people. The second you might see something a little bit off, instead of saying, well, I'll get to it later, I'll ask about it later. Ask about it now. Check in on people, and maybe don't take, as good salesmen, right? We don't take the first no as the only no, right? You used to have to hear it 3 times. Apply that rule, I'd say only twice though, to people's emotions. Check in on them. You can't want it more than they do, but you can certainly check in on them. Thank you guys so much. Next week on the show, we're going to have back to the guest format, and one of the best entrepreneurs I follow. You're not going to want to miss it. Thank you so much. Have a great week.